Hey, what's up guys? Mad Zach here in the studio with a very special guest this morning. We have the Ableton Push. So here it is. At first glance, it looked quite a bit like the Launchpad, but after that first glance, it became quickly apparent that they are eons apart. I was just basically going to walk you through some of the things I've been doing with it and just sort of give you my take on the whole thing. So, you know, the first thing I noticed is that the buttons are a lot more playable than I thought they would be. They're very nicely spaced and they have a nice elasticity to them. So when you hit it, it doesn't sort of absorb your finger, it really bounces your finger back. And that is a lot like an actual drum, so it's really great for finger drumming. Also, the sizing of it is nice because I can literally hold my wrist in one place and I can play all the sounds in my 16 grid here. That's definitely one of the things also that I'm really happy about with the Push is just how optimized it is for my sound packs. If you already know about my sound packs, then you'll be delighted about Push because literally you can load up a sound pack and compose a whole song or remix without ever having to touch the computer. There's two views, there's the note view and the session view. So session view, that's kind of like you know, the main page of the Launchpad, what everybody's familiar with. The note view is where you can do step sequencing and play your patterns. It looks like that if you're playing an instrument. One small complaint that I have about it, if it's a drum rack, you play it like this. If it's an instrument rack, you play it like this. And you can't do, that I've discovered yet, step sequencing the same way with an instrument rack. Since I encapsulate a lot of my drum racks within instrument racks, it's a little bit of a pain, but I am willing to work with it. So I just wanted to walk you through some of the other stuff here. You probably noticed there's a giant touch strip over here. This is really cool if you're working in a drum rack because you can scroll up and down through the drum rack. So So yeah, there is your grid layout, and then you also have your this is your instrument page. One of my favorite things so far is definitely going into the scales menu. There's just a button here that says scales, and you can pick the key that you're in, and you can also pick the scale that you're in. So like right now, I'm in the minor blues scale. And what's great about it is that it makes it so fun and easy to just completely shred. I always, you know, I used to play, I still play, but I came from a guitar background, and one of the things that got me into guitar was just being able to completely wail on a solo, something that's missing from a lot of electronic music, but I think definitely with the Push, you're going to see a lot more people just completely ripping on it. This is definitely designed to be played like an instrument that you can play and feel, and I mean you can use it just to, you know, press buttons and tweak knobs, but it really gets you into the zone of playing it like you would a drum or a guitar or piano, and I think that's really cool because that's always what Ableton was lacking for me. So yeah, now we're in a new project here. You can use these arrows to move through your project. So like I have all these different tracks set up and I can just move between them super easily, which is cool. Okay, so what I wanted to show you was a little bit of the step sequencing real quick. So basically this quadrant right here, this is all of your patterns. It's actually, I think, one big pattern, but you can select different areas of it and wind up using it like different loops. So each one being its own little section Or you can select 2 and then it'll play through the whole thing. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second in case that's not super clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of step sequencing, and then I'm going to show you how you can actually play patterns in. And then we're going to cruise over to the instrument section, and I'll show you how you can start to form a whole song out of a sound pack or a drum rack. So yeah, let's just dive in. I'm going to stop talking and just start showing here. Turn on my metronome real quick. So the way the step sequencer works is you hold select and you hit the button that you want to, or sound that you want to step sequence. I want to add a hi-hat line. So I just implemented a new pattern there. And yeah, I have my hi-hat selected right there. And then we can just draw in the notes. Turn off that nasty metronome. And let's cruise back over to our other drums. Select the kick. Now I want to bring in the clap, but I don't necessarily want the clap to be so rigid and on time, right? I want it to have a little bit more emotion and feeling. So I'm just going to play it in. So it's really easy to do that. You just hit record, and then you can just be like, and then what's cool is you can actually cruise over. I'm going to take off record for a second. You can cruise over to the clap, and you can see that it actually recorded those notes in on the step sequencer. So I could take them out, put them back in. Pretty cool. And now I'm going to show you another thing here that's pretty cool. Right now, if you notice over here, these are all like different increments. So you have 1/16, 1/8, 1/4, and 1/32. So if you hit 1/32, you get more notes to play with. So you can do like fast hi-hats, And then if you wanted to, say for example, make a whole new pattern, you can just select the one next to it and then make like a fill or something. Let's put it back on 16th. Okay, I want to do that. It's also really cool because you can actually go in and edit your sounds completely from the controller without touching there. So like, let's say I wanted to edit that clap a little bit. All I have to do is go Device, make sure to select my clap that I'm working with, and then let's go into the drill down, and again, clap. Transposition, for example, and like I want to make that hi-hat more of a shaker, so you just select the hi-hat, device, instrument, drill down into that, drill down again, and then we can more of a hi-hat there, more of a shaker. Okay. Cruise back, and I'm going to make one more drum pattern, and then we're going to lay down a bass line. Cool. It's very easy, right? Then you can cruise over here, and I want to make one more hi-hat line that's just a little more mellow. So here, it's also cool, you have your tempo over here. Let's get over and edit that kick a little bit. now let's lay down more of a bass line. So as I was showing you before with the scales, you can select your scale. I was having a lot of fun with the melodic minor. Actually, no, it was the gypsy one, minor gypsy. Oh, I know what's the problem. I'm going way too fast. Okay, let's slow that back down and lay down a bass line. So here we go. First, you want to set up your fixed length, right? So we want a 1-bar loop for the first one. Get out of scales mode. Okay, and if you want to make a new one, you just hit new, record, then we can go. Can edit the sound a little bit. Let's try that filter. Okay, let's make a new loop. So that's pretty much what I've been doing with the push. I'm really excited about it mainly because of the integration between the hardware and the software and not having to be in the laptop land as much. I have a problem when I'm working on music. I tend to get really distracted by the computer, whether it's an email or I don't know, I just dick around. It's not productive. So this is great because it completely detaches me from that world, puts me in this land where I can just, you know, focus on what's important, which is actually the number one thing that stands out to me about it is just actually the playability of the buttons, because they're definitely rad. In fact, I like it so much that I think I'm going to be putting together some special sound content just for the push and putting it out on DJ TechTools. So if you're interested in picking up a push, I recommend getting it there just mainly because of the free content that comes with it. So yeah, Mad Zach here with push, people, push. Anyways, have a good one, guys.